Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whatever time it is when you hear this message, I pray that you're poised to receive, to accept, and to respond to words of wisdom. One thing that I know as your educator, Babalawo, of 30 years now, is that you are drawn to Orisha lifestyle instinctively and intuitively by the regal presence that the tradition exudes. In other words, there's something within you, your ancestral memory taps into the aesthetics at the very least. You see the beads, you see the clothing, you see the gowns, you see the elaborate shrines. If you've been exposed to the Cuban system, you've heard the language. They talk about being crowned with one Orisha or another. You talk about being upon the throne of one Orisha or another. And so within the African memory, we know that we come from kingdoms, right? And sometimes people will say, oh, the Yoruba tribe, and I have to always correct them, say, the Yoruba are not a tribe. The Yoruba are an aggregate of kingdoms. And once upon a time, most of the deities sat upon thrones. They were kings in their respective realms, right? But even unto this present day, Yoruba kingship is widespread and actually is universally practiced. All everywhere that you find Yoruba people, they all come from a particular kingdom or another, right? And so we as African Americans, even if we've never been to West Africa, we know that we are people who come from kingdoms. If not Yoruba kingdoms, some other kingdom. And so Orisha lifestyle taps into your intuitive and instinctive understanding of your identity and where you truly belong is contextualized and framed up as a kingdom, as royalty, right? And what I want to point out for you today, and I want to distinguish for you, is the way in which that regal presence is acquired, cultivated, and intensified. Because we have a lot of people in the field today. There's lots of noise in the field. There are lots of voices. There are lots of people saying lots of things, and there people are confusing education and entertainment. See, there are people out there talking and they're cracking jokes and doing dances and just I mean, it's a show as much as it is anything else. But really, the fundamental basis of what is being presented is a lot of information. Some of it better than others, but people are just talking, 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 talking. They're data dumping, or people are doing tricks, right? I can perform this trick. I can perform that trick. I can make this happen. I can make that happen. I can do all kinds of razzle dazzle. And so people try to combine the two, talk really fast, and say a lot of interesting things in a very entertaining way, and then do tricks, right? In the form of rituals and ceremonies. And that's kind of the basis of what people are presenting to you as Orisha lifestyle today. Unfortunately, unfortunately, and it's unfortunate for the people who really are seekers because you cannot data dump and do tricks and transform consciousness. Those two don't go together. No matter how much data you dump and no matter how many tricks you do, you're not going to transform someone's consciousness with that. You're not going to elevate the quality of someone's life with data and tricks. This is where, as a professional educator, we will break it down as the difference between curriculum and pedagogy. Curriculum is about this is what we teach, this is what we teach, this is what we teach. This is the information, the 3 R's. Curriculum is about, in the best case scenario, I'm going to teach you about this Orisha, and I'm going to teach you about that Orisha, and this Orisha is this color, and that Orisha is that color. This Odu says this, and this Odu says that. That's curriculum, that's content, that's information, that's data. The pedagogy is the method by which I teach you about this Orisha. The pedagogy is the method by which I teach you about this Odu. You see, and the method is more important than the data. The method is more important than the data because the method, number one, should bring out the essence of who you are. The only way you're going to have regal presence is if you are in alignment with your true essence. And so if I'm giving you information and I'm doing tricks that does not in any way awaken your inner essence and does not give you the skills and the ability to recognize and master your essence, nothing is happening. Nothing. This is why I've been telling people for 15 straight years, never mind the beads, pots, and titles. Skip all that. Ignore all those beads, pots, and titles. Ignore them. Focus on your natural gifts and talents. Find someone or some cause or some group that you feel worthy of your natural gifts and talents and give them away. Serve, 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 serve. That is the way to come from the inside out and build from the bottom up your regal presence. What do I mean? Your regal presence, your crown and your throne are innate. It is your crown of destiny. It is the throne of destiny that brought you to this plane, to this earthly plane. The only reason you're here is because of your regal essence. That's what brought you here. That's what's guiding you through all the phases of life. And that is what is going to call you back to the heavenly realm to become complete, to become whole. So all of your training and experience must evoke, refine, reinforce, empower, expand your internal reality. This is your true essence. Not everyone is adept at that process. Not everyone has the skill, the training, the ability, even the focus or vision of doing such a thing. So I'll give you an analogy that comes to mind. When my son was going to high school, for example, he was a very good student, and he got offered scholarships at, many of the premier high schools in the San Francisco Bay Area, if not all. And there were about 5 top schools. And folks in the Bay Area, you know which schools I'm talking about. We went on the interviews to all these schools, right? And 4 of these 5 schools, every time I would go on an interview and they would start pitching their program, they would talk about one another. School A would talk about school B, C, and D. School C would talk about, school A, C, and D, et cetera, right? They would all talk about one another. Well, they do this, but we've got a better, Ivy League network. These guys do this, but we've got a better sports team. These folks do this, but we've got, a superior sports team. We got better music program, blah, 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 right? And every single time I'd listen to the pitch and then I'd ask them about this other school. What about this school? How would you compare yourself to them? Every single time they'd say, oh, no, we can't compare ourselves to them. They've got a great program, but what they do and how they do it is in a different category from us. That is when I knew. They validated my theory and my observation. The school in question had a particular methodology. It wasn't just that they taught the high sciences and the fine arts and they had athletics. It's the way that they deliver that training, very purposefully, very deliberately, in a very unique fashion. So at every level, you're always going to find, or in every category of life, you're always going to find some who are just concerned with, let's say, content data. This is what they're going to be hitting you with: information, information, and information. And the idea is that the better information or the more information we can give you, then that is going to, distinguish us from others. But you're going to find a select few that are going to let you know that, sure, we've got high quality information. That's table stakes. That's where the game starts. In order just to sit at the table, you got to have high quality information. How do you internalize that information? How do you bring that information out of yourself and apply it for the greatest good? Those are the unique ones. Those are the leaders. Those are the ones who will transform the world because they are actively transforming themselves. Every day, they are reinventing themselves. Every day, they are looking for new ways to learn more about themselves, because the true mastery isn't just with acquiring information. True mastery isn't just about accumulating things. True mastery is understanding how you learn about yourself, how you continuously unlock the potential within yourself, how you constantly refine and clarify your purpose and your vision and your destiny on this earth, how you constantly conjure the courage and the willingness to show up and be who you are in all circumstances, under all conditions, with all people. If you've got resources, if you've got a crowd, if you've got supporters or not, how do you remain committed to the crown that brought you to the earth? These are the ones who will transform the world. In the Orisa Lifestyle Academy, that is our purpose. That is the reason why we exist. To constantly and perpetually reintroduce you to yourself and your purpose, and give you the skills and the abilities that you will need throughout your life to continue to master who you are and why you're here. This is the reality of demonstrating, exuding, and amplifying your regal presence. This is a call out to the leaders. I'm looking for the leaders. I'm looking for the people who are determined to transform the world through positive influence. If you're one of those people, then I want you to find out how Obafemi Orikunwa and the Orisa Lifestyle Academy can help you transform your life and the lives of those who you're destined to serve. Please visit me at obafemio.com or orisalifestyle.com. Get enrolled today. Don't delay. Don't hesitate. Don't wait for a better time. Sure, the best time for you to have enrolled was last week, last month, last year. But the second best time for you to get enrolled is right now. Don't procrastinate any longer. Join us in the School of Orisa Studies, and let's start helping you live the medicine that will change your life as well as change the lives of those who you are destined to serve. I look forward to working with you. Bye for now. Whatever.